Okay, so I've been telling a story about, or this is the second part to a three-part so far update. Well, it's the second update of the first out of three videos about when you just don't pay, you don't reward bad behavior, and I'm using the old-fashioned term again of the marketplace. You know, businesses, when their employees or staff, whatever it is, when they behave in such a bad way, that you don't reward it by continuing to go to that place to do business there. Okay. And now I told that story about what happened, 3 of them in one day, and it was actually 4 for me, but 3 when Adam and I were together out doing things. Okay. And it was like a theme was happening, one after another. I've had that happen all my life. Life goes in themes, but for him, no. With somebody, no. But anyway, the one I was giving an update to was about the vet and having to switch to a different vet for Marmaduke the dog. Marmaduke's a big dog. I say he's a half breed between black lab and bear, B-E-A-R. He's a big dog. Continue the update. I'll link the other videos at the end of this video. Okay, and you'll see pop-ups that are rectangular. Anyway, so the update, more of the update, is basically it was like this. We changed to a new for us, new for the dog, vet. And it was a nice place. But so much went wrong that Adam basically said that Marmaduke, the dog, was warning us about that this place is evil. But I want to back up a little bit. Now, when I called around to find new vets, I read this place's webpage, looked at it, over it, and all this stuff, and I called to make the appointment. And the woman who answered, which was the front desk clerk that I met a week later, yesterday, yesterday was Sunday, so Saturday. Well, she was real nice. But how many of us who've ever experienced, like, narcissistic abuse know about how nice they start off with, but then later on, well, this didn't take much longer later on to start showing their true colors. No. Yeah. She was that nice that time, and then I had to call back to ask another question. She was nice that time, and then Adam wanted me to reschedule because we were supposed to have painters come over to paint different parts of, well, all the things that need paint. Our house is brick, but there are parts that need painting, and he's also getting a new roof, so we need the painters out first, which didn't show up because it was raining. But so I still had to reschedule before we knew that was going to be the case. Rescheduled the appointment. Adam wanted to be there with the painters for a good part, so I rescheduled. The vet's office was, you know, the front desk clerk was nice again. Like I said, true colors came out when we got there, or before we got there. I had looked online. We were in my SUV. Now, we use my SUV, and it doesn't have the GPS, but we use it because it's an older one. It just turned 400,000 miles on it. You know? We bought it new. But we use it for Marmaduke, you know, when we took the dogs to the vet. And I use it just to go around town whenever he's not, you know, when our SUV isn't there. I use this one, which I'm in now. But, whew, boy, this story, it's long, and I'm going to do detail. So, it doesn't have a GPS. I'm driving. It's Saturday morning. Our appointment was at 11. I'm driving. It's a lot of traffic, even for Saturday. And Adam is not that great on using his cell phone to get directions. So he called. I said, call. You know, I tell him, I said, call, because we couldn't find it. It wasn't where she had told me originally, and where I'd actually looked on the map. Because in the long run, it's kind of hidden. Around here, I've never known businesses to be kind of hidden with trees. Yeah, like they're purposely putting it in behind the trees. Yeah, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here, but I told Adam, I said, you're going to have to watch where I'm going because I'm driving in all the traffic. And so he was watching, and he said, well, it would be right here. And I turned in, and no, it was a bank. It wasn't there. And anyway, he called him. I said, call him and get directions. So he told Adam the direction. She told Adam the directions. Adam told me that it was right across from this restaurant. Went to the restaurant. No, what's right across from the restaurant was the bank. And on the other side, across the street, because it was on the corner, was an apartment complex. This while all this is going on, Adam is irritated for whatever reason, and Marmaduke, the dog in the back behind me, is irritated, is like anxious. Unusual for the dog to be that anxious. And more recently, yeah, he's been like this. But he's panting, the dog. It's panting in my ear because it's on my side and I'm driving. He's panting and making all kinds of noises. He just really doesn't want to go there. Now, this dog loves driving, riding around. The dog didn't know where he was going. Seriously. The dog didn't know where he was going. But he was just like, unusual, very unusual. Dealing with Adam, who's irritated, and a dog who's irritating. Okay, all the while. It was all irritating, really. So I stopped there at this restaurant the woman said it was across from, and I called, and, the front desk clerk, and it's an elder woman. She's older than I. And she said it's across the street. I said, we must be in the wrong place because across the street is a bank. And she said, no, well, it's south from there. I said, south from here is a bank. Now, what the woman could have said is there's a bunch of woods, and it's embedded kind of inside those woods. She didn't say that. And I said, well, she said, there's more than one across the street. I said, across the street, the other way is an apartment complex. Well, she said, well, we're right across the street from the parking, from the apartment. Well, I'm right across the street from apartments, and this is a restaurant. But yeah, I pulled out there and said, okay. And I pulled out, and then I finally could see that the vet's office, but it was hidden, like I said. There was a little bitty tiny road, this is not that kind of a place where you have little, like I just said earlier, it's just not that kind of a place that you have something hidden like that in a tiny road. Now, I don't know if they had to do that like that because of, zoning or something, but yeah, it was a new place too, so maybe it was, maybe that's what were requirements, I don't know, but it was weird. So anyway, so I said, well, we have an appointment at 11 and it's like 1 minute till 11. I need directions, so a note. Now, I wasn't really mean or anything, but just the way the woman was acting, her attitude, oh my goodness, it was like, no, we're not setting this up. And now I'm going to say this again, like I said in the last video. I don't think that any kind of customer service person has to treat their customer like they're royalty, but you don't treat them like they're peasants, either. And, back from those days. But they do. And you don't even treat your employees that way. But so many places around here, not all of them, they do. It's a dominance thing. And I tried to explain that to Adam. He got it. That has changed since before their competitors, like he had said. I showed him, no, it's a dominance game these days with these people. Too many of them, not all of them, like I said. They want to show dominance, that the customer is to be dominated by the staff wherever you go, whatever kind of business in the marketplace, any kind of business. The staff is to be dominated by them, and the staff is to treat them as though, to infantilize them even. To do the passive-aggressive thing, or the aggressive thing, the passive-aggressiveness, the displacement, I can go on. You get the gist. Now, that just doesn't settle right with me. I've been dealing with this for many, many years, and I have an attitude. I've dealt with that not just in the marketplace, with people. The whole dominance game. No, I don't allow that. You're not stepping over my boundaries. You're not going to, say that you are somehow higher up some scale than I. No, it's not going to happen. I'm very stern, is what I call it. Very stern, very assertive. I'm not aggressive. I'm assertive. I don't go in there sergeant charge. And like I said in the last video, this is part of the story. But no, I don't do that. I just stand my ground. So anyway, there we are. We finally make it there. I see the place. I find a way to get over there and all that. And, oops. Too noisy. Yeah. Anyway, so I've already told some of the story about the Marmaduke acting very weird, and that whole story that was in the last video. And Adam saying that Marmaduke was trying to warn us about evil. This place is evil. I don't think in those kinds of terms, you know, that the dog somehow, but this dog could have been a service dog, but yeah, that this dog somehow knew that this place, all the way from the time we started going, that this dog knew that this place was going to be that bad. It's a nice place, but the attitudes were awful. As I mentioned in the last video, Marmaduke let him know. Besides the barking, yeah, he let him know all over their floor. He let him know what he thought of that place. Then we finally get him back into a room. He's barking. He won't stop barking. This is a big dog, like I say, and we get him into this little tiny room. I don't know why they would make rooms for animals that tiny. It's about the same as, say, the front seat of my SUV, and maybe the front hood. And it's not that big for adults, the vet tech, and the dog. It was tiny. But yeah, Marmaduke was not happy, and I guess it's the vet tech or the vet's assistant, whatever they call them. She was probably 30, 35 years old, I guess. I don't know. She made me think of, I was thinking this morning, I'm not trying to be mean, but maybe she would have been a descendant of the Beverly Hillbillies. I know that's mean, but how else can I put it? But she came in there, and she came in Sergeant Charge. Okay, that happens, like I say, it's a dominance thing here. That happens far too often, and it's usually, you know, the whole situation I mentioned about before the series was another one that I made was about a what is it called? A pharmacy tech, and then the pharmacist herself. And I don't think she would know. I don't think she works. I don't know. I haven't been back by, but yeah, things that happened since then. But anyway, this one is the vet tech or vet assistant. She came in there. Oh my goodness, Adam was with me. I'm glad he was. And although Adam just sees inside, is furious inside and doesn't say anything, leaves it up to me to handle the situation. Always, 37 years I know him. But yeah, he was barreling through the door with an attitude, and she was going to lay down the law to us and what we had to do. I can't do those kinds of voices. But, you know, we had to do this, and we had to do that, and this is the problem. No, this is the problem. Like that. And I said, what we're going to discuss, and we're going to, what was the way I put it? This is what we're going to concentrate on. That kind of thing is this. Marmaduke's, you know, seems like he has dementia. What is really the problem is, because it was her aggressive sales pitch. It wasn't even a pitch. It was a demand. You two are going to get this done to this dog. She went in all kinds of directions, such as the chart that was sent from the other vet. They had put the pages wrong, so they didn't have to see, and they didn't really need to address that the dog was just seen by that other vet in December. This is today is actually April Fool's Day. This is no April Fool. No, they had them all mixed up, which I made a point to the vet about. Yeah, you don't mix up charts like that. The date's out of order. No. And then use that as, she was using that as a way to tell us that the dog hasn't been seen since, and then however long since before then, and demand that we do $600 and something worth of tests. Yeah, but that wasn't all. That was what the what it was to start off with. By the time we would have left, it would have been around $1,000. Okay, and no, Adam, he didn't want to say anything, and I was like, by this time, because I was so irritated with Adam's behavior and then the dog's behavior, I was going to sit back and let Adam handle it for a change. He couldn't. He just couldn't do it. And he said, no, I just want to get finally he said, no, I just want to get the shots. And then that tech, assistant, whatever, she still had an attitude, well, this needs to be done. And I'm like, if I were alone, this isn't my dog, but if I were alone, I would have walked straight out and said, no, this is how it's going to be. Adam, however, no. He wanted to get the dogs, and we needed it. We really had to have the dog get their shots. Marmaduke get his shots. Okay, we really needed that. He can't be boarded until, kenneled until he has that Bertella, whatever it's called. Yeah, and we need to have that done. It has to be done 2 weeks ahead of time. So, yeah, he's my ex-husband, So anyway, I would have walked out. I just would have said, no, you're not getting my business. You don't reward bad behavior. But anyway, so she walked out, and in come this vet. And she's probably around 60, 65 years old. And she was extremely professional. Extremely. She was very good at her job. Very professional. Still is the sales pitch there. And she let me know right off the bat, I don't usually work here. So she was kind of letting me know that that's not the usual behavior she's used to, kind of thing. She said, I usually don't work here. This is just one of the places I work sometimes. She even looked like, whoa, wow. And she said, what I said was, we will address this to the vet tech. And she still said, no, the problem is, I said, no, we will address this. And the vet, when she came in, she said something, and I told, mentioned this to her, brought it up. She said, yeah, we will address this. Yeah. Oh, she was very professional, but that tech or assistant, awful. Sarge in charge. I hope she gets fired. Really, I hope she gets fired. And myself, I haven't said anything to them about the bad attitudes there yet. I don't know if I have, but I don't think that woman should have that job. Her demeanor, her whole of her is wrong, and they could be, that could basically backfire like it's going to with us. We're not going back there at all. We got what Marmaduke needed, the shots. Not going back there. The biggest part of this was that the whole sales pitch kind of attitude. Really, sales pitch. Okay, this is a dog that needs shots. This is not a dog that needs a gazillion and one test, and it was just seen by the vet in December, end of December even. It does not need all these tests run and all these, and they had the chart. Tests and treatments and supplements, and yeah, it was a sales pitch. And no, so we're not going back there. But the whole attitude. Now they had plenty of people in there. So when I first went in and asked, do you have somebody that can assist us getting the dog out of the back of the SUV? The dog had some problems and needs to be, the assistant. The other place people do. That's their jobs. That's what they do. The woman, the front desk clerk, her attitude had totally changed. The whole thing that was love bombing and before, and now it was true colors coming out, and she's also, dominant. I'm sorry, I can't imagine any business really thinking. I can't imagine because I've seen it. I don't have to imagine, but really, businesses and thinking that customers are to be dominated. Do they really teach that these days, that you dominate over the customer? Because a lot of people can just say, I don't need your service, I'll go somewhere else. And I've said this before, as I said last year, in this area, it's best to go outside of this area. And it is night and day. It is night and day, just going 10, 15 miles down the road to another suburb. But like I had said in another video, this past... I'm continuing these videos, but this is the second of it's continued today. That place, the last summer was bad. It was really bad because we had a bad summer. Well, then we had a bad winter, but now, and I said, and during the winter, it wasn't so bad. But the thing about it is, and I knew, and I think I even said in that video, is that I wasn't going out as much. Adam doesn't really deal with anything much in the marketplace. I do all of it. I'm the homemaker, and that's what I do. So I wasn't around as many people to see this kind of thing again. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? If I had gone day after day after day, yeah, it starts to wear on you, especially when everything is a freaking sales pitch, a dominance game, the whole like I just mentioned, that whole list, infantilization and treating you like a child, on and on. This passive aggressiveness, displacement, just a whole sense of entitlement, and yeah, seeing that. And this place has a reputation. I didn't give it to him. Like I've said in other videos, just seeing it every day, just even driving down the road, and people think you're on my road. And I know that that happens in every place, but like I said, difference of night and day going outside of here. But anyway, so we won't be returning to that vet. And it took Adam, that was Saturday, Saturday appointment was at 11. It took him until Sunday night to cool down. Me, I cooled down because I said, I'm stern. Yeah, I stand my ground firmly. No, but he just stands there and gets angry. Between Marmaduke acting like a crazy, insane dog, and Adam being so angry, and I finally told Adam, I said, when we were alone in that little bitty tiny room, I said, I was very irritated myself, and I said, maybe you need to go outside and get a smoke. Take a smoke break. And he said, yeah. So Adam was really trying to get away. I've known this man for 37 years. And he wanted to get away because he can't handle this stuff. He really can't handle this kind of stuff when people are doing this stuff. And when, after we left, he was, every once in a while, he'd blurt out some, how angry he was that they dared to try that on us and demand that from us and say, you must buy all this and pay all this and do all this. It was very irritating. I was, but I'm so used to it, you see, and I don't like the fact that I feel like I'm desensitized to it, but I'm not at the same time. But just having to constantly stand your ground and make those barriers, boundaries, and say, no, you're not stepping over my boundaries, and somebody's going to sales pitch you, that's too much. Really, anytime I go out, and I'm usually a person who goes out and does something every day. So, anyway, I should probably wrap this one up and maybe continue on another video for something else. We'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. If you want to subscribe to this channel and you haven't already, click the circle icon. If you want to watch another video on this channel, click one of the rectangles. Like, subscribe, comment, and share on your own social media if you would, and I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.